Hello and very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. In today's video, I will explain how the stress will kill you much faster than the job itself. And I will explain the reasons behind. I will explain also, I will share my stories as well, how it will affect, let's say, your body as well, your performance, and the overall experience. Because what we live here in our existence, it is actually an experience, okay? And because yes, the management and the leaders are not capable and does not have the substantial experience and skills in order to learn and share something important and meaningful, I will do it for them. Okay. So our today topic, it is stress. How it is being created, how it can be, let's say, eliminated, and how we are able to increase our performance. This is what we have to focus and not the useless meetings that most of the companies are creating, okay? Because they do not give the attention in the proper direction. This is the biggest problem in nowadays. And also, yes, there is lack of critical thinking. That is also a huge, let's say, missing part and gap in the industries. So that's why we will see more and more accidents are happening because there is no meaningful focus on what is actually required to be done. And it's hovering with a lot of unuseful information which is not necessary. I had this problem too. That is true. I had this problem when I basically joined my last role. I didn't know what to do and how to focus on the thing. So I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what is the cause and where I should give, let's say, the proper attention for. Hopefully, my previous role as engineer on board the vessel helped me to change the structure, let's say, from disturbance, from a lot of stress, a lot of thinking, to a system which is more, let's say, focused on short term, let's say, small wins, than rather hovering around and try to, let's say, do everything. Okay. So what do you have to do? It's first of all to focus in some of, let's say, most important things that you have to do. But first of all, in order to reduce the stress and to reduce the impact of whatever stress is required, first of all, yes, you have to have a good manager. Manager. This is your can be your line manager, okay, which are able to give you the foundation. Okay, so basically, your line manager builds the foundation. Okay, without this foundation, nothing can work. That is true. And I truly believe in that. And I have seen that things are really, really working. I have seen it on board the vessels. It is the approach that you have to the people that you're working with. Just simple conversation, just simple questions, how you're doing, what is your goals, let's say, for today, what is your, let's say, personal level of status and all the things. It's like let's say a health check during the day from your person of contact. It can be, let's say, your chief engineer, it can be your second engineer. It depends your level of connection. So it is just a simple health check, a daily health check. Okay, daily, it can be, let's say, weekly health check. And this builds the foundation. Why it's so much important? Because the foundation is everywhere that the building stands. The foundation is, let's say, the main goal of this book for crude washing and the course, of course. The foundation is the marine simulations that I have created, which gives you the proper approach and reduce the exposure to unpleasant situations. It is also the boiler advanced course. It is also the preferred advanced course. And it's also the bunkering and the sludge optimization projects, okay? So all that together are foundations in order to have a proper and let's say critical thinking, first of all, so you are able to understand which of these parts are playing a role and for what reason. It is really important. And similar also the manager, this is the things that he is doing with his, let's say, cooperate, or let's say a better colleague, yes, colleague. It is checking what is the status basis also on his knowledge. So also he has built substantial knowledge here through the years. And very important is that this knowledge is not only the knowledge itself, okay, knowing the regulations and the laws and all the things, it is also a behavioral knowledge. It is knowledge of the industry itself, okay, how to approach this and other individuals. So it has a lot of characteristics. It's not just the knowledge, raw knowledge itself. It has multiple characteristics as well as understanding in the personal level as well, okay? So it's not that only rules and regulations. So that's why you have seen that most of the companies in the industries, they have really robust system, they have really robust, let's say, regulations, rules. But only this thing by itself, simply, it is, let's say, 40 or 30% of the actual thing that is required. So by itself, this thing does not say anything at all. And it's written by people. Similarly, there can be a lot of mistakes. There can be a lot of repetitive, let's say, information that says and says and says again and again the same thing. So basically, if you repeat one thing a lot of time, repeat, what you create uncertainty. Uncertainty. And what uncertainty brings? It brings stress. Okay? It is lack of focus as well. Lack of focus. And the things really are really simple, but we people, not me, okay, we people, let's say, we tend to make it really, really difficult. You know, we tend to create some things which are more difficult in order to prove our value, let's say, to somebody and show, oh, okay, how much work we have done and all the things. But it can be like that. It can be like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. But we tend to do like that. 2, 1, 5, 7. And then we're going here. We're going from here, here, and from here, we're going here. So what is the reason of that? It creates stress. So we have to stay simple. Simple. 1, 2, 3. That's all. This is what I also did in my, let's say, engineering days while sailing, let's say, on the vessel. As much as possible to simplify the things that I am involved in. It can be anything. It can be simplifying the operations, simplifying, let's say, how the things needs to be done, let's say, in order. But before that, you have to build experience. Experience and expertise. Experience. So how you will build this experience? It is really are correlated with the people that you have worked with. And also, it is highly correlated with what kind of, let's say, material you have, let's say tools and other things available, let's say tools. So if you have, let's say, people that are not so good attitude, and also you have lack of tools, your experience will not be so good. Okay, your motivation will drop, and then the stress will increase. So this is highly correlated. That's why I'm telling the line manager here or the director are creating and are part of this experience. Okay, and the next thing is the tools that they are giving you in order to perform. If there is no tools that they're giving you, and also they're not able to see what is required for yourself, because each and every person are individual, then you have a failure. Okay, you have a failure. That's why it's very, very important that there is a let's say, approach, individual approach. And what most of the companies would like to do, they set up the terms, they set up, let's say, the regulations, the rules and the regulations, and they say, okay, Mr. Let's say, Mihail, you have to comply with these. Nobody says that you do not have comply, let's say. Comply, 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 comply. You already comply without saying that things. A lot of comply, okay? Requests, rules, regulations, and still all the things are failing, continuously failing. Because what the system does, you have a lot of individuals here, and basically all these individuals that you have, they're all different. So what you would like to do them, you would like to change them in one rule. Okay? You want all these people to change to one rule. But then what you would like to do, you would like them to have different outcomes here. Outcomes. Have different, let's say, projects, innovation, and all the things. So basically what you have done, you have killed them already here with all the rules and all the regulations here, because you're failing adapt to each individuality, and then you would like them to create. That is impossible. So basically you have created them stress here. You have capable people, individuals which are able, let's say, to perform. Some of them are not able to comply or are not able, let's say, to succeed for some of the tests. So that's why the innovation and the projects are never come. Moreover, some of the individuals will not able to follow the rules because simply, let's say, it's too overstressed for them, and they will give up. So basically, as long these filters are huge in the organizations, there will not be any projects, any innovations, and all the things. So the structure itself, it is really, really wrong. And we have not accepted this system, first of all, because the system was also created by people. And most of the time, the people that create these systems are making a lot of mistakes, creating more stress than it's required, and also the value and the shareholder price decreases. Okay, it goes down. It goes down. The expenses increasing. Expenses are going up, and also the failure are going up. because simply you have lost all your expertise as well. You have lost all your people with all that filtering, with all the strict regulations. And basically, what you have now, you have only the people that you knowing from your cycle, which have the same interest, the same individuals, the same stories, and all the thing, and they're not able to innovate. So you have created all the stress for the rest. For innovative people, you have killed their innovations. You have killed, let's say, basically their positive attitude with all the thing, thinking, yes, that you are, let's say, the leader and all the things, yes, and going to the mirror, oh, yes, I'm leader of, let's say, one company or another. And then what is happening, yes, this creates a lot of stress internally in the companies, and it's not seen because nobody's talking about that. A lot of companies have a lot of stress, and people simply are burned. They're burning in themselves really fast because they cannot keep up with the requirements. With so much changing, let's say, restructuring requirements, they are lagging to keep up, and also they lost their motivation. So has a directly reflection on the performance as well. But most important thing is, yes, the stress. All these things create a huge stress for the person. It can be on board, it can be in the office, and nobody's talking about. So everything is focused to the delivery. Okay, if you will sit down, let's say, with most of the companies during, let's say, the Q1, Q2, Q3, let's say Q4 performance, they will ask each other, okay, what you have done, let's say, so far. They will not ask you, what is your level of stress or how stressful you were. So that's why failing in the individual approach, failing also identify the things, it creates burnout, it creates less keep up, let's say, motivation drops, and the delivery itself, it's not that much, let's say, reflected to the real conditions, because yes, we have set up, let's say, some goals. Some of them maybe are partial filled, some of them maybe it's full filled, some maybe it's not at all, or maybe we have created, let's say, partial, but actually it is done, let's say, 10 or 20% of the actual, let's say, story. So all that creates an internal pressure, internal stress to the people, and that's why most of them are not able to keep up. Moreover, the stress creates huge problems for the health, which, in my opinion, most of the companies, the salary that you be paid, let's say, it does not work at all to have all this stress. There is no reason, yes, to have this stress, because your health is much important than any other salary, any other company, any other emblem, let's say, or any other, let's say, ambitions that they have. So you are the main character. You are the main character, okay? That's why so much I have focused with all my material that I'm creating, that it delivers value to the communities and to the people that are basically allocated to these, let's say, specialities. It can be manufacturing, it can be also any other industry, okay? We does not focus just in one industry. We just focus in general. It can be, let's say, shipping, manufacturing, factory, whatever you name it. But this is, yes, and another view and another picture that many managers and leaders are missing, because simply they are never focused, yes, to personality, individuality itself, and it's just written in the rules. But actually, what is be done in that direction, let's say it's nil, even it has not been raised in most of the companies. So they keep up with restructures, changing people, going there, never really, let's say, looking to the human factor, which is still huge. And yes, they will try to eliminate it as much as possible because people are not will be required, let's say, in the future so much. But let's say, yes, if it's theoretical work and all the things, but still there is. And until that moment, until the change, which is not actually a data of expired, we have to find the ways in order to attract people with different, let's say, ways, understand their needs. Because if we fail to do that, if we fail to identify these things in our organization or in other, let's say, business, it will have a huge ongoing impact. And this impact will just multiply through the time. Maybe it's not seen, but this is also why the people, let's say, became angry because really they have not this individuality. For sure, it's better, yes, to use AI because AI will not complain. But we have seen also some of the AIs, you have to be really polite, okay, because you don't know how it will react. And yes, we don't know how these AI systems will be, let's say, perform in the next years. Maybe he will kick you, you on the head or whatever. We don't know. That's it. That's it. A little bit, yes, about the stress, how it affects the companies, the individuals, how it can change the overall performance and the shareholder price as well. Nobody talking about that, but you now know it that this exists. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.